By now, Karen number 7 had developed a reputation for using 911 as her personal weapon. So when my wife moved in with me at the lake cabin, it didn't take long for her to react. Within minutes of our arrival, the piercing ring of a phone interrupted our unpacking. True to form, it was Karen, reporting that unauthorized residents had taken over my property. I paused for a moment, holding the box of kitchen supplies, and let out a quiet chuckle. This wasn't a misunderstanding. It was the HOA's attempt to assert control over a property they had no legal claim to. My wife raised an eyebrow, accustomed by now to my calm demeanor in the face of absurdity. I grabbed my badge and keys. "Don't worry," I said. "This is going to be easy." 20 minutes later, I was standing in front of Karen's property, legal papers in hand. I had coordinated with a trusted attorney in advance, and a set of eviction notices, ironclad and court-certified, were ready. Karen's face turned from smug to pale as I walked onto her driveway. "Karen," I said, "this is in response to your repeated harassment and frivolous claims. Consider this an official notice. You are trespassing on my patience, and legal action has already begun." Her voice trembled as she tried to argue, but my calm authority left no room for negotiation. I handed her the eviction papers personally, ensuring she understood the gravity of her behavior. This was more than a piece of paper. It was a declaration that the HOA could not, and would not, manipulate or intimidate me, my family, or our property. By the time she returned to the HOA office, flustered and muttering under her breath, the news had already spread. Members of the HOA who had once cheered on her antics now whispered warnings about the limits of harassment and the consequences of overreach. For once, Karen was the one on the receiving end of legal pressure, and the irony was not lost on anyone. Back at the cabin, my wife unpacked the last box, smiling at the view of the lake. The water shimmered in the afternoon sun, a reminder that our property, and our peace, was intact. Karen's calls no longer frightened us. They were predictable, almost comical in their futility. By the end of the day, I reflected on how swiftly the tides had turned. The HOA had once wielded 911 calls as weapons, using them to intimidate and control. But with preparation, legal backing, and a firm understanding of our rights, we had transformed their tool into a symbol of their own overreach. And somewhere down the street, Karen number 7 was sitting at her desk, realizing that power can't be claimed by entitlement or loud demands. It must be earned, defended, and respected. And on that day, she learned that I had all three in abundance.